So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Kyle from the band Passionflower.
We're asking some questions today about their new album, "To Bloom Is to Grow." So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the album so far?
Yeah, it's been really positive. Definitely loads of people said a lot of nice things about it, which is always really nice and really good. So yeah, more people listen to it than I thought would do as well. So that's also really nice.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. The album banged. I did enjoy it.
It is good.
Yeah. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, so they're both very connected in kind of what the album's sort of about. So it's not like a concept album, but it does kind of have a theme. It's about growing as a person and growing into who you're meant to be, like growing into yourself. When I wrote the album, God, like now 5 years ago, nearly.
Wow.
Woof.
Yeah, I've been working on this for like a long time.
Yeah.
Some of them songs, in fact, are like older than that. I wasn't in the best place mentally, and I didn't want to be here. I was struggling really, really badly with my mental health. So I guess the theme of it is kind of, even at your lowest spot, you're not at your final destination. You can still grow. You can still become a better person, a better version of yourself. And it's kind of about believing in yourself as well, even when you feel like no one else does, and even within yourself, you don't feel like you can believe in yourself too.
Mm-hmm. And the cover art.
So the cover art, so there's a lyric in the sort of opening song called "The Chance to Dream." It's like your love is like a coffin built for two, which is sort of what mental health feels like sometimes. It's a love-hate relationship for a lot of people, and I guess that's what lots of people don't quite understand about having depression, anxiety, PTSD, especially if you're not in that spectrum at all. They kind of go, oh, you're just sad. But actually what people don't realize is those ailments kind of have like a vice grip on all aspects of your life, and it's like a relationship, and it's a toxic one. So it sometimes feels like a love relationship, because it feels like the depression loves to be around you when you don't want it to be there. So that kind of symbolizes that it's like the manifestation of a toxic relationship between myself and my mental health.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. All right. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this album?
So feelings, so many feelings, for sure. So a really interesting writing story I have for this album is one of the songs on the album called Picture Perfect. I wrote in a dream. Like, I completely wrote the entire song in a dream.
Interesting.
And then woke up and was like, oh, I sort of remembered it like pretty much all categorically, and then I just started writing it. Like, I woke up and that was like the first thing I did.
That's very cool.
How does that work?
Literally, like, that was a complete fluke of me writing that song, like each detail. But all the other ones kind of, I took a lot of, especially like, for instance, Neverland, that was the longest to write. It took a couple months to write that, because what I find is I'm really good at writing verse one. I'm really good at writing choruses, but actually making a really strong second verse that's just as good as the first one is really difficult, because I guess you kind of put all your feelings and impact into the opening part of the song, rather than try and figure out what the rest is going to be. It's like writing a book. You know how the book starts.
Yeah.
You know how the book ends, but actually the meat in the middle, which is the most important part of the book, it's kind of sometimes hard to figure out. So
yeah.
It's definitely a lot of persistence, because sometimes I struggle really bad with writing blocks. But once I get going, I am on it. So usually I kind of will do something really mundane, like cleaning in my house, and then I'll start like humming a melody, and then kind of words will form, and I'm like, oh man, I've got to write that down. So I'll start like writing on my phone, and then humming to like a vocal note, because I have a memory like a sieve. And then from there I will jump on my computer and then start putting things together, and then I'll be record them like the rhythm guitar along with like a quick vocal melody, and be like, oh, actually this part can fit in here, and this part can fit in here, and then the rest of the arrangement kind of comes on quite quickly, which is really cool. Sometimes actually, I get a bit of a music nerd on it, and be like, oh, this would be cool if they did. What if, and sometimes when I get a little too overly complicated, I'm like, these guys won't like it, but the kids will love it.
Yeah.
So, all right, okay, cool.
Perfect. All right. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this album and the meaning behind it.
So my favorite lyric, I have to say, is from Picture Perfect, which is "Loving you is as easy as breathing," which is, I think the meaning behind it is, when I wrote it, it was about someone who I loved a lot. I had a lot of positive feelings for, and when I thought about that person when I was writing, I was kind of like, it is easy. Loving everything about you is so positive that who wouldn't love that person? Who wouldn't love that person in this way? And loving them is easy. And then, breathing is also easy, unless you like when you have asthma, then it's kind of, a little difficult.
Yeah. All right. Yep. So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you write the opener be the opener, closer be the closer? Did you shuffle it around, see what fits? What was that process like?
So when I wrote the song, not the song, when I wrote the album initially, I had like 20, 30 songs ready to go. And it's kind of really, I was just cutting it right down to the bare bones, because I wanted it to be all killer, no filler. Which hopefully that's what I achieved anyway.
Yes.
And then when it came to doing the order, it was really like last minute. So the producer, Matt Heap, who produced the album, me and him kind of worked on how the pacing of the songs should be in like what order. I knew that I wanted Neverland to be like one of the first songs, and then the opener, Per Chance to Dream, kind of came later on in the stage. That was kind of the last song to kind of come out of it, because I was thinking around and thinking, it'd be cool if I had a little prelude to this song rather than just being straight in. Because what I find is actually with a lot of my songs, I don't make intros to them. It's just kind of right, we're in the song now, rather than kind of be some sort of mystery. So what I wanted to do with Neverland, because I felt like the song, it deserved a bit more, was kind of write this kind of an extra part in front of it, so like a two-part kind of thing, to give it kind of like this really cool 1-2 opening dynamic punch, where it's like, it's so chill, not so chill vocally because it's all screams, it's all kind of ethereal musically, and then we're good, we're all going, all guns blazing, which is really nice. And I think that really works with the dynamic, and then it follows on with, If Today's for Living, then Why Am I Dying, where it's just kind of, it opens with my voice and guitar. It's kind of, what's going to happen? Is it going to kick off? If you're just going to stand here, play guitar on his own, but actually then when it really kicks into with the drums and all the other instrumentation, like you can really feel the effect of that. Then you've got kind of I won't say it's a ballad, but like Pitch Perfect is the happiest song in this album, for sure. All these other ones, like, I'm feeling so bad, my feelings, and then like Petra, it's like, good feelings, nice. I'm feeling warm inside.
Oh my God.
And then very swiftly back down with Moment, kind of it's almost like a weird one, so it's kind of still quite up there tempo wise, but it's more low-key, understated than the other ones. And then you've got Joel and Clementine, which is all the instruments doing all of the things all of the time. It does kind of have a little breather where it kind of slows down. It does its little a little breakdown, but not like a heavy breakdown. Like there's a little like bass, really cool bass part in there.
Yeah. And
like with that song, I kind of, because I'm a bassist by trade, and I feel like in the genre, bassists get a really bad rep for being lazy and like, you just play one string. Pretty and play one string. And I'm like, absolutely not. We can't have this. So when when I was writing it, I was like, I just really want not like a difficult bass line because I still want people to be able to pick it up and just run with it, but I want them to feel a little challenged and be like, there's something for everyone in this album. So there's like each song has a little bit of something for someone to go, it's not easy, but it's not hard. And then you've got Hollow, which is one of my in my top two of the album. Which again, a lot of feelings. I wrote that when I was such a bad place. I think actually it was the day after Chester Bennington died. Like, so it was literally the day after because I was kind of like loads of like life stuff happened, and then I was like, no, it can't get any worse. So like, Chester Bennington said,
it did just get worse.
It does get worse, and I'm like, because I think what a lot of us are now realizing, especially like if you're in your like early 20s to mid 20s to your 30s and plus, is that actually we're in this era where we want to see a lot of our heroes be human beings and be older and, you know, face their mortality, and we kind of vicariously through them feel our own mortality, which is, you know, if you've never felt that before and you've never been in that place, is really scary and really dark. So I guess when he died, because like Linkin Park was such a good gateway band for me when I was growing up, like 20 years ago. You know, it hit me harder than I thought it would, and I was just like, oh damn. It's kind of like now with like the whole thing with Taylor Hawkins going, like that was like I woke up and I was like, like shit, like it's really sad. So then I kind of what else I kind of realized was that he had the life that I aspire to have. So, you know, he had the platinum albums, he had like the Grammy nominated albums, you know, he had the success, he had the fan bit, but actually he still wasn't any happy with all of those accolades and things. So then it kind of made me go think to myself, well, what is it that I want from life deep down, apart from having a music career and making music? Like, what is it that I want for myself in my life? So that song for me is one of my favorites because it's so open and honest. It's kind of me this is what I want from life. This is, you know, I want this from life, I want this from life, and I want this from life. And it's kind of me kind of realizing that in a dark place, like this is what I'm aspiring for, rather than just kind of going, music career would be nice, you know, some fans would be nice. Actually, no, I want to be able to start a family and have a career and, you know, have a life and have someone I can come home to and cares if I'm there at all. You know, I know those things are really important, apart from just doing music. And then you've got the closer, which is optimistically pessimistic, which is what I like to call the mental health jam of the entire album, because I think actually it symbolizes what it's like having mental health issues, because for a lot of people the days just seem the same, they seem monotonous, they seem long, they seem hard, and it's just like Groundhog Day. Every day is the same, the food tastes the same, the feelings taste the same, the people and the faces are the same, and it's really hard to break through that cycle. And it's about, you know, it's really, really trying to find the hope inside you to carry on to do things, which not everyone gets to do and not everyone sees. And sometimes people lose that battle, which is really sad. I know I've lost too many people to their mental health struggles because they felt that no one was there for them. So this song is for those people who do that, especially, well, this album in itself is for them people who, you know, they feel like they've got no one to talk to and no one to listen to their problems, or they're not able to vent and they're not able to feel the way they're meant to feel. This album is for them. It's for myself, but it's for everyone who feels like they're an outcast and they feel like they've got no one. Just know that if you listen to this album and you feel something, then you've got at least one homie here to hold you up and say you're doing good.
Oh,
I like that.
That was beautiful. Thank
Very
you.
wholesome.
Thank you. Yeah. So I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but if you want, you could go a bit more in depth. Would you be able to tell us where your headspace was at while you were creating this record?
Yeah. So kind of the back end of 2016 and the bulk of 2017 when I was writing this album was pretty dark. It was really awful, and you know, I just wanted to escape from everything. You know, I kind of cut myself off from friends and family, and I just didn't want to be around anymore. And it's also, you know, you can tell people that you feel that way, but sometimes they just won't understand that, or you can hint to it or allude to it, and unless you're plainly saying, look, bro, me and the planet are not seeing eye to eye, and I don't think our relationship here is gonna work out unless you tell them directly, they're not gonna get it. And there's, I think for a lot of people, there's only so many times you can allude to it before you're like, oh, I'm gonna just, you know, do it because I've kind of mentioned it a few times and no one's really, you know, done anything. And it's not obviously the responsibility to other people, but there's only so many times you can, you know, send out that cry for help to deaf ears before you're like, well, no one cares. And you know, that's, at that time, that's how I felt. I felt like my cries to help were kind of not heard, and, you know, no one was wanting to help me through my dark time. Yeah, which is sucky. It's definitely sucky. And I feel like a lot of people, especially now in this post-apocalyptic world that we're kind of, you know, living in, where you'd think that everyone on the planet kind of went through the exact same thing, you'd think that would bring a lot of us together. But actually, I find that we're now more divided than we were before, and we were kind of on the breaking point. So, and I have, you know, I'm kind of always been wary of that. So this kind of lonerism and feeling alone is kind of just being a constant feeling in my brain for the longest time. So I kind of was writing about that, and actually some of the songs I'm writing now for what's coming after kind of follows on from that in a way. It's kind of like a sequel of sorts. So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
For sure.
I do hope you're feeling better mentally. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing everything with us. It does mean a lot.
Okay.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends in the dark with headphones on? Is it a workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
Oh, it's a bit of an everything. You know, I think to really feel it, have your headphones on, sit somewhere nice and quiet, and just the headphones on, and just relax and let the album take you where it needs to take you, I suppose. It's a good car. I feel like it's a good single and car album. I feel like it's got some big choruses on it that, you know, if you're in the car, your homies, you can be like, yeah, I'm gonna scream along to this album for sure. But I feel like it's a good solitude album. It's good for being introspective for sure. Especially if you're feeling down on life and doubting yourself. I think it's a good album to kind of listen to and be like, right, I'm feeling down, but how can I change it? Rather than dwelling on my sadness and being in my sadness, how can I change my sadness around and make it positive? How can I change all my negatives that I'm feeling into positive? And how can I carpe those DMs and make my day better and seize the day and seize all the opportunities that I can get?
Yeah. That's very good. That's very good. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Ooh, okay. Introspective.
Okay.
Hopeful. Riffy.
Wait. What was the last one? Riffy?
Riffy. I feel
Riffy?
like I think it's got some riffs on there. I think there's some riffs on there. But
just a couple. Just a couple.
I'm biased. Like, I can say I'm biased.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I guess it's one of those. It's a good album for going through the motions. Obviously, theme wise, or lyrically, it's quite sad and introspective, but actually, I feel like it's quite a hopeful album because, especially in comparison to like other sort of quote unquote emo albums where they're kind of like, I'm sad, everything sucks. But actually, I feel like there's a little thread of like hope that weaves through the song where it's kind of like, things are bleak, but they could be better.
True.
Yeah. Perfect. So is there a certain... Oh, shoot. What is your favorite memory that you made while creating this album?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but the most memorable memory of this album was it would have been now 4 years ago. So 4 years ago on my birthday, wow. So that would make me my 25th birthday. Wow, I'm getting older. Yeah. So 4 years ago on my birthday, I went to kind of record sort of like the second to last sessions because I did it in parts. Mm-hmm. And my train kept getting delayed. I was getting a train to Colne, where I live in Warrington in the UK, sort of near Manchester. And where the studio is like it's a 2-hour train journey away. And it's all hilly, and like the trains there, like they run 1 hour. So if you miss the train, you've missed the train. However, I made sure I was up nice and early to get the most out of my day, to travel down. And I got on the train and the train driver was like, yeah, so this train's now been cancelled. I was like, really? It's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Why cancel on the train at 10 o'clock? There's no one here. Like, why we can't? Like,
exactly. Why?
And he's like, yeah, the driver's been going non-stop since 6. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess, 20-minute, 15-minute break is going to be fine. Yeah. So it's cancelled. So you have to wait until another hour for the train to come. It's like, okay. No stress. I've got my iPad. I've got South Park season 20 on there. No stress. I catch up on my stories. Amazing. An hour passes, and they're like, okay, it's train time.
Yeah.
Because bear in mind, knowing as well, I can't remember how cold it was. It was below 0. It was freezing.
Oh my god.
So I was like, okay, it's ready to go. I've been in this cold train station now for an hour and a half.
Oh my god.
Let's go get the day. Get in the train. Try to get on the train. People just in the way, and the train drives off. So I missed my other train because the guy was like, "Oh, there's no one else in the train." I'm like, wait. I felt
I'm right here.
Like I felt like Kevin McAllister from in Home Alone. Like, Dad, come back, Dad. I'm not here, Dad.
Yeah.
And then he drives off. So I was like, okay.
Me, I guess.
Another hour. So 2.5 hours later, I'm like, okay, third time's a charm. I'll get this train.
Yeah.
It's also my birthday, so I really didn't want to spend so much time on this train station. I kind of wanted to just, do some stuff and things and be productive.
Yeah.
So the train comes, and I'm looking at this lady who's like kind of guiding old trains and organised trains. I'm looking at like, lady, if this train's cancelled, I will hijack the train and drive there myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, this is my birthday, and it's not like it's a namby-pamby birthday. It's a special birthday. Like, I don't want to spend all my day in trains. And she's giving me a look of, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I'm like, don't be sorry, be better. So the train comes. I'm the first one on the platform. I sit in the train, and I'm sitting on my seat. I'm eyeballing this lady like, lady, you better not be getting on this train to tell me to cancel. It's like, okay, the train's ready to go. And I was like, yes,
finally.
And so after 3.5 hours, I'm just there like, thank you.
Finally.
Oh my god.
Finally, I can finally crack on with my day, and then message him back like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. Because he only lived across the road from his studio, so he didn't care because it just meant a longer time in his pajamas for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, lucky for some. I've been awake since 6.
Yeah, I've been in under negative 3 the entire time, but you've been in your PJs. That's fine. Yeah. Enjoy your day.
But, all in all, it was a great day. I got to see some, because it's in the countryside, and I'm not sure if you've seen pictures of the countryside in the UK, but it's really pretty. It is so nice. And especially because it was snowing as well, it just felt like it was somewhere else. I was like, "Oh, this is the Hogwarts Express." And
I was gonna say, on the way to Hogwarts.
I was like, because it's just like not rural, but it's like so rural in comparison to everywhere else. I'm like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Hello, Ron. Yes, I would like something from the trolley. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take the lot. I'm poor though. So yeah, no, not an amazing memory, but a very memorable memory of making this album for sure.
For sure. Oh my god.
So picture this: you're on tour at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Oh, well, I've learned I've not been on many tours, but I have learned some lessons. I know what to stay away from, especially if I was going to tour the US. I know to stay away from truck stop burritos. I've heard enough. I've heard enough horror stories about truck stop burritos, but I'd have to probably find a slice of pizza. We're gonna go full stereotype. I'm gonna have to get a slice of pizza. It doesn't matter if it's a margarita pizza. It doesn't matter if it's pepperoni pizza. Just a slice.
Yeah. Usually you could trust like gas station pizza. I think I've never had it, but it looks trustworthy. It's better than the hot dogs.
I mean, like my tattoo says, trust in crust we trust.
That's amazing.
That's good. That's good.
That's perfect.
Literally. So I'm like, you know what? You're looking dodgy, but I trust in you. Apart from Hawaiian pizza, I'm not a fan of pineapple on pizza. And I know that's going to split people right down the middle, but I am in the no pineapple zone.
I'm hurt, but I respect it.
I'm not one of those who's like, you're an abomination against God. You like it's each their own. I'm not here to start pizza war. It's all pizza. We are all built in the pizza God's creation.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone have whatever toppings they want, apart from peas and mayonnaise. Like I've seen that on the internet. I've not had it. I've seen it on the internet.
That's fucked up.
That doesn't sound right.
That's fucked up.
That sounds like a joke.
I hope it's a joke. This is where like the pineapple crew and non-pineapple crews can finally convert.
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
What else? I like potato chips. I do love. I have a hankering for potato chips.
Mm-hmm.
So over in America they're called Lay's, but over here they're called Walkers. Walkers have something called Sensations, and they have like a red, like chili, like a Thai chili flavored one, and it's chef's kids, really good. And then kind of like flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Flaming hot Cheetos are a necessary snack.
All right.
Perfect. All right. So on the topic of food, if the music project was a dish, what dish would it be?
Ooh, if it was a dish. Ooh. That is it. Ooh, okay. I think it's a burrito.
Okay.
Okay, not a gas station burrito.
Not a gas station burrito.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Taco Bell one. It's like it's not like the best. It's not the best. It could be better, but we still enjoy it anyway, and that's what's important.
Okay. Shane doesn't like Taco Bell,
Taco
so
Bell's fucking gross.
You're talking to the wrong person right now.
I
I love Taco Bell, so it's okay.
Yeah, Taco Bell's fucked up, man.
It's great.
All right, I respect it though. So for the last couple of questions, we're gonna shift away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Ooh, okay. Okay. So it'd probably be like a really good, authentic Italian lasagna. And probably some Dr. Pepper. Like if we're going non-alcoholic, it's got to be Dr. Pepper. If it is alcoholic, it'd probably be white rum and Fanta fruit twist.
All right.
Ooh, all right.
Sounds good.
So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh. Maybe the Star Wars universe. I'm trying to think which is like the less totalitarian, less death.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Star Wars has a bunch of deaths, but they also have Jedis, and Jedis are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean there's also like a war.
There is also the titular war.
Mm-hmm.
We all can fly spaceships. I can be like, you know what? I'm seeing that war.
Away.
Exactly. You're like,
they're all good. There you go. That's fair.
All right.
I'm getting the kids and then going on the road.
That's perfect.
So as I have thought of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Teal.
Based.
That's good.
That's a good color.
Good. Never say based again.
Teal.
I'm trying to bring base back.
Absolutely not. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Just the album, yeah. If you've got time, if you've got a spare 31 minutes, sit back, relax, and pop on to Bloomers to Grow.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you for now. This has been Kyle from Passionflower, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.